wherever you're listening to me from. So there is this trending, my name is Eze Igbo. Something is happening in Ghana, and it got me curious. Curious in the sense that ever since I was a little child, what's trying to happen in Ghana is actually what has been. I grew up to know that various tribes move from place to place, especially Africans and especially Nigerians. In fact, any country that you go to and you don't find Nigerians, then seriously you need to leave that country immediately. The place may probably be really toxic or not welcoming. When I was a child, I know Ejimbe Senior as the Eze Igbo of Jos. I was a little girl, small little girl. In fact, he wasn't installed when I was born. I met him as Eze Igbo of Jos. When I visited Bauchi, my sister's place, I know that there is a Eze Igbo of Bauchi State. For sure. Even in their small village where they lived, Gololo, I know that there is an Eze Igbo in that place, that small village. I've been hearing these about issues with Ghana having a problem with installing a king. I don't know how it escalated to the manner it did, but Aneke, thank you, welcome. But I just felt it is something that should be talked about so that it is not misunderstood. The Igbos are very domineering. You cannot take that away from us. Unapologetic Igbo, that's whom I am. And wherever we find ourselves, we represent, and we're sorry. It's just the way we are wired. I'll begin from inception. I also grew up to realize the Onyaga na Nwanneya strategy of the Igbo apprenticeship, where one person goes to a place, survives, comes back home, takes his brother, and goes again. The brother survives, he comes back again, takes another person, and goes again. The person survives. You would see one man who has trained more than 10 boys, more than 15 boys. They are not his biological children, by the way. They are just maybe people from neighboring towns, or people from his immediate town, or people from his associates, sometimes people who are in the same business with him. He doesn't even know the Nwaboy very well. He just knows that he needs a Nwaboy, and his friend volunteered somebody he can give him. And then he takes the person becomes an apprentice and serves him for a 4 years period to 7 years period. And the person gets settled and the person begins life there. And they begin to expand. That is the way I know it to be. Back to the Eze Igbo stuff. Like I said, I grew up in Jos, realizing Ejimbe Senior as the Eze Igbo of Jos. And he was a king in Jos for the Igbos. Please, in quote, just a king for the Igbos. What is his job? His job is to mediate in times of trouble. His job is to mediate when this particular Igbo tribe have strife inside themselves. His job is to mediate when there is an information by the Plateau State government to be passed to various tribes. If it is inclusive to the Igbos, they call a Jimbe senior and passes this information to him, and then he relays it to the fellow Igbos that live in Jos. How does this happen? There is a given day in the month for the come together of a meeting, a physical meeting of the Igbos in Jos. I'm using Jos as a case study so that when a Ghanaian person is listening to this video, they would have a broader picture of what I am talking about, so that they will not think that it's only peculiar to their place in Ghana. So if you help me share this video, I would love it very well. A Jimbe senior's job is like an intermediary between the Plateau State government and the Igbos living in Jos. A Jimbe senior's job is to be sure that the Igbos living in Jos are coexisting in line with the laws, the principles, and ethics of the Plateau State government, so that we do not break their laws. A Jimbe senior's job in Jos is to be sure that brothers and sisters who are doing boy and oga are in peaceful coexistence, whereby when a boy is due to be settled, he will be settled without rancor. And when you give charge that your nwa boy has stolen your money, it is the duty of a Jimbe senior to come and mediate between nwa boy and oga, and half the time between disputes concerning someone who has bought something from Plateau State government and another person who's been denied access to what he or she has bought. That's his job, mediation. Mommy. His job transcends from mediation to conciliation. That's a Jimbe senior's job. How do Eze Igbo in whichever country, how does it come about? It comes about by election. Half the time, it is not by selection. I need to explain this to people so that they will understand and not have this feeling or notion that the Igbos have come into their towns to come and take what's theirs. I don't need this. That the Igbos have come into their towns to come and take what's theirs, forcefully or peacefully. The Igbos have never been known for rancor, for strife. The Igbos are always known for industrialization, for capacity building, for entrepreneurship, for money making, be that as it may. That's what we are known for. And I'm sorry, half the time we're unapologetic. Now, the kingship is elected. It is gotten through election. Only on rare cases where people who are coming out are not worthy of handling that post, either through their repertorial skills, either through their self-esteem or inferiority complex. People who are living there know who is who and have a way of selecting the caliber of person that can represent them in front of maybe a governor, maybe a councillor, maybe a chairman, maybe the House of Assembly, maybe the senators of that particular given location. So half the time, they are not selected. But if they are selected, there are prerequisites for the selection. Therefore, the Eze Igbo in anywhere, believe me, it's not just in Ghana that we have Eze Igbo. I've just given you an instance. I was born in Jos. I know Ejimbe Senior. I also know Ejimbe Junior. They are rivals because they vied for the same position and one won over the other. But because this one is really dangerous, he kept fighting this one who was the real elected one, an installed one. Now, the notion that the Eze Igbo is in your country to take over your country and to take over what's yours and to take over maybe your land and to take over maybe your resources is a blatant lie. A blatant lie. As a matter of fact, they hardly meddle with anything that concerns country versus country. They only interface when it is something that needs to be accrued to them as citizens, as taxpayers. That's when you will see Eze Igbo try to say, government, please, we've been obedient in line with best practices. Can we at least have a fair play in electing one of us to be in this position to also speak for us when we are not there? They usually solicit. That's an Igbo man for you. They usually solicit. They don't go take it by force. They first of all are told the law of the land. Then they follow the people who are already coexisting in the locality and be sure that they do not derail from the bylaw of that particular land. That is why anywhere you find the Igbos, there is peaceful coexistence. We are unapologetic about that as well. There is always a peaceful coexistence. He may be fighting with his brother, no problem. But trust me, you cannot even come in between them. You cannot kill his brother before him. He will say no. He has his brother's back, even though his brother is one of his enemies. The Igbos just like to be recognized because when they come into your land, they recognize the owners. So, let me go back to Ghana. I see that Dr. Chukwudi is one person that they are saying doesn't need to be an Igbo or Eze Igbo in their community or in Ghana as a whole. I'm sorry, it's not peculiar to Ghana. If you go to Malaga, there is Eze Igbo in Malaga. If you go to Spain, there is Eze Igbo in Spain. If you go to France, there is Eze Igbo in France. There are Eze Igbo scattered all over the place. In Nigeria, there is Eze Igbo in Bauchi. There is Eze Igbo in Jos. There is Eze Igbo in Nasarawa, where I served. There is Eze Igbo in Benue, even in Boko. So it's like that. It's not that we came to your country as Ghanaians to come take what's yours. No, it's something that has been and is to be. It's not stopping. I'm sorry. But this is what I solicit. Take it easy on yourselves. The Igbo man has not come to your land to take over what is yours. There is no need for the strife. There is no need for the envy. There is absolutely no need for the rancor. There is also no need for the malice. Take the Igbo man the way you see him. He's just concerned about what will help him in a given place. He will obey your law. He will respect the land. Just give him what is accrued to him. What does he really want? All he wants is peace. He pays you money, occupies your shop, continually pay you. Don't give him just trying to cause serious commotion for the people of Ghana. Please, there is Eze Igbo all over I can think of, even in Canada. It all depends on personal and individuality. Some people are naturally on a low. Jide, you're making a noise. I don't need that.
Sorry.
Thank you. Some people are usually on a low. Some people are on the okomoko angle. And this is my message for those who are not going to just calm down and be an Eze Igbo amicably in somebody else's land. My solicitation to you is, look at it this way. The fact that we've been given the leverage to do our thing in line with best practices, just like Lagos State. You see, Lagos suddenly started having complex because they know because we're domineering, we're gradually all over the place. But it's not our fault. Pardon me. That's why an Oba will instruct and say he will throw you all in the lagoon and nothing happens because they've started suffering complex as you all are gradually dominating everywhere. We can actually achieve our aims on a low. I repeat, Ndibo, we can actually achieve our aims on a low key. There is absolutely no need for the noise. For instance, America, what's the name of that country? Just last week, gave an Igbo Day on the 14th of every June as an Igbo Day for that particular state in America. Why? Because the Igbos have contributed holistically to the development of that particular state. That's what the Igbo man is known for. The Igbo man is not known for coming into your land and scattering your land. Never. Ever. The Igbo man is not known for stealing what you have. Never and ever. The Igbo man is only in your land to explore your land and make the place known and possibly develop your land by buying land and building houses and shops and making your place, boom, it explodes. And it becomes a serious business area for everyone who wants to be real in business. That is what it is. So the people of Ghana, I beg you, sheath your swords. The Eze Igbo in Ghana. I grew up to know that there is an Eze Igbo in Ghana. Except there is something else that the man has done that we don't know about. I'm sorry, you may need to tell us. And except there is another thing that has developed, if it's not really what people assume it to be envy, to be bitterness, to be jealousy, to be strife, and the rest of it. I don't know what to classify it, but please, it's just a way the Igbos are wired. They love representation, they love mediation, and they love conciliation. The reason they install a king for them is for someone who will constantly interface with the state and keep the law of the land. So that if there is a new law, the Igbo man does not read. The Igbo man, if you want to deceive an Igbo man, you may probably write it because he doesn't have time to read. The Eze Igbo gets a letter, reads and digests it, and calls for an Igbo class meeting and tells them what the law says. The Igbo man goes and mediates. If the taxes for the Igbos are high, he mediates for them, brings down the taxes by soliciting with the government, and you see the entire Igbo people pay the tax as a group, in full. We are not known for breaking the law. I'm sorry. Very hardly will you see us breaking the law. And sometimes, because of this little kind of thing that people assume is jealousy, half the time you will understand that the taxes that we pay is way, way bigger than the taxes that other people pay doing the same venture. Yet, we do not fight. Yet, we do not say no. We only go back to our Eze Igbo, the representative of the Igbo communities living in a given place to go to the government and solicit on our behalf for a reduction of this particular price of tax that is too high for us to pay. If he succeeds, we will get a feedback and the price will be slashed. If we don't, we will continue to pay what has been given to us to pay, even though we will be paying it with bitterness, but we will pay after all. So guys, except there is any other thing that is happening in Ghana that people do not know about, please let the people of Ghana understand that it is not only about Eze Igbo. Now I'll need to drift away from being an Eze Igbo to being a Sarkin Hausawa. I live in Enugu, and in Enugu we have the Sarkin Hausawa, the king of the Northerners. It's a culture for us, please. We have the king of the Hausas here. We have Sarkin Fulani. He's the king of the Fulanis here. When anything happens in the land, he is the first point of call. The government calls him to go and tell his people what the law says or what the new law is saying. It's not only an Igbo king installation, please. The people of Ghana needs to see this video. The Hausa kings also exist, and so it is all over. If you go to Bauchi, we have various kings. Let's assume it's their place. But you will see that there are various, in Igbo, they have it. In Ebonyi, there is Sarkin Hausawa. In Anambra, there is Sarkin Hausawa. There is Sarkin Power, the person who is in charge of the slaughter. There is Sarkin Nyamre. Just is like that everywhere. In Kano, where my sister lives, in Sabongari, there is Eze Igbo in Kano. So let us not see this as a shenanigan. It is something that we've done over the years. Except the king passes, then another king is installed. We just hollowly obey these persons that have been given to us as the king. And he can be dethroned, don't get it wrong. Once he starts drifting away from the real intent of why he was installed, he can be dethroned. He's got cabinets that says, let's do this in this dimension, or let's not do this in this dimension. It's going to be tantamount. Let's consult and let's know the way forward. So it's something that has constantly happened. The same way it is with the houses. When you kill a cow, like the people of Ogo, the people of Nsuka area, sometimes a cow just gets killed and they need to pay. It's the Sarkin Hausawa or the Sarkin Fulani that they will call to pay the money equivalent of the cow. Otherwise, there will be war between them and the town. That is their job. It's not installed to take over anybody's land. The Eze Ndi Obuna in the diaspora is not actually installed because the king of that place is weak. No. Please, I will beg the Igbos, understand this. Mmadụ sigi were ihe zerie, were zerie. Mmadụ sigi na ihe anyị na-eme na ọ like ya, detach, were sorry. Look, as much as we have Eze Igbo in various places around the globe, there are people who may not find this pleasing. If they do not find this pleasing, tell them that we have presidents generals. Tell them that we have youth leaders. Tell them that this can actually be installed. They are carrying out the same role. The difference between these two is that this one is more of a struggling servant, but the other one, as Eze, is more of a hallowed servant. That's just the difference. Sometimes they bow fala, they make merriment, call the Igbos together and have some fun. That's the job of Eze Igbo. It just brings togetherness. It just brings them all together. At the end of every year, they come together and make merry and eat and drink and know themselves further, explaining their businesses so that they can begin to patronize themselves. That's what it is known for. Eze Igbo in any of the diasporan community is not there to steal your land. Eze Igbo is not there to steal your animals. Eze Igbo is not there to steal your resources. Eze Igbo is not there to steal your minerals. Eze Igbo is not there to collect money from the Igbos and eat. Eze Igbo is only in various places as a mediator, as an intermediary, as a servant of the Igbos, as the... Hold on for me, please. The people you are living with will not feel threatened. It's only not going to be fun that the people that you're living with are feeling really threatened when you're living with them. It's not fun. Therefore, if you find yourself in a place and you're trying to come together, and the community where you find your place, yourself in, is not so comfortable with your way of life or your modus operandi, it's only ideal and going to be pleasing that you find a balance and see what works. It's only ideal that you find a balance and see what works. The truth is, nobody wants to feel inferior in their lands. Nobody wants to feel that another person is more respected than their own kin. Because unconsciously, you're definitely going to respect the Eze Igbo of a given area when he speaks to you as somebody who is under his tutelage. It's only natural. And that may bring conflicting interest, especially when there is a king who gives an order, maybe courtesy of the government, and then your Eze Igbo maybe doesn't seem to agree totally with what the king is saying. They may just begin to conflict, because you as an Igbo man may go to respect your Eze Igbo more than the instruction of the real Eze of the place to which you're dwelling. So the Igbos, I beg you, we will not need to get ourselves to that point where the people that are living with us become really uncomfortable with our style and approach. We must find a balance and create this balance to be visible. If they say they do not want an Eze Igbo of whatever community that you wish to represent, or a given country to which you wish to represent, look for something else and title it. But also let them know that you are not at the helm of affairs. I think where they're scared is when you take the lead as one who is at the helm of affairs of the people that they should be answerable to. I think that's where they get scared. When you're making the Igbos living in diaspora feel that you are at the helm of affairs more than the people that they ought to be answerable to, tell them, constantly remind them that you're only an intermediary, that you're only a messenger, that you're only a representative of them. But that the real instruction is not coming from you, it's coming from the king of the place to which you are a minute representation of. Do not go and overshadow an existing king because n'Igbo Eze Igbo. Do not go and start comparing yourself as a first-class chief when you know you are not supposed to even be a chief in that place. The only chief that should be recognized in a given country is the one that that country installs. I need us to understand what I'm saying. The only king that should be recognized as Eze Igbo, if you ask me, is the one to which the king of that particular community you're representing installs, which means a little of the small power to which he possesses has been handed over to you to please help when the need arises. But do not try to overshadow, overpower, try to outshine the person who gave you a little leverage. Because that's where you all start failing. Do not try to redo a law that the king of an existing place has done before, that his people are respecting, then you want to make your own people to disrespect. Is not acceptable. Just know that you're a guest, you're a visitor. As much as you've gotten to a decade and you're almost like an indigene or a permanent resident of that place, and you have a say, and before you know it, you're a complete resident of the place, and you have your card as Onyenwobodo. But still, it doesn't override that you are answerable to the first-class king of that particular place, who will in turn say, come, I need your attention. This person needs your attention. We need to sit down, we need to talk to this governor so that he will understand what you're saying. If it is the one he can tell the governor by himself, you will need to tell him all your requests in written format, not verbal. In written format, so that he will go to the governor and go and mediate on your behalf as Eze Igbo. The fact that you are installed as Eze Igbo and you know that there is an existing king does not give you the leverage to even jump away governor. You must be mad. That's, I think, the disparity. And that's why they may get scared of you any day, anytime. Because it's natural. Guys, please, that you have access to the powers that be does not mean that when a first-class king of a given locality to which you are Eze Igbo to says or gives an instruction, then you as Eze Igbo will go and give a counter instruction. The reason is, I'll give you an instance. I live in Enugu. There are various Ezes in various communities. There are various His Royal Majesties and His Royal Highnesses in various communities in Enugu State. For instance, you go to Ebonyi State. There are various Ezes, there are various Nzes in Ebonyi State. An Anambra man cannot possibly go to Ebonyi State and go and be an Eze Igbo in an existing kingdom and make Nda in all the area to be his subordinates, leaving the existing king of Ndebonyi in that place that he is Eze Igbo. Dekunata no munaro. Pete, take it easy. Take it easy so that people can be at ease with the Eze Igbos. Eze, take it also easy so that the king can also be at ease when they mention your name. Let him know that you're loyal to his government. Let him know that you're loyal to the stool that you found, that installed you. The fact that you're installed and you've got the right cartels and you've got the right contact does not mean that you will overshadow the king that installed you as Eze Igbo and then go to the powers that be contrary to his instruction. And they will not support you more than their own. Remember this. You obey the laws of the land and the laws of that king that installed you. So, I repeat, the people of Ghana, please sheath your swords. The Igbos are known to be resilient, to be really hardworking, to be in peace, to coexist, to live in tranquility anywhere that they find themselves. They are never known for war. They are never known for covetousness. They are never known for stealing of another man's land to be theirs. They are known for business, money making, entrepreneurship, onyaga na one year strategy, training orders. Once they are up, they leave you to go and fend for yourself, and they get others to train. They are known for industrialization. The Igbo man prides with how many people they have trained. That's the Igbo man's pride. The Igbo man is not in Ghana to take away your land, to take away your money, or to take away your wife, or to take away your trees and everything you've got. That's not the reason for the installation of Eze Igbo. The only reason for the installation of Eze Igbo is to have a spearhead, as an intermediary, as a resolutor, as a salvator between the Igbos living there and the government and the place, to obey just the rules and regulations in line with the bylaws of where they found themselves. That is it. Anything other than this is a lie. A lie from the pit of hell. In fact, a big fat lie. Ndị Igbo defo onwe na onye ọbụla defo onwe ya. Somebody should tell somebody that this is what Ozioma Christiana Ejiofor has said about the much that I know about Eze Igbo. I grew up to meet Eze Igbo as a Jimbe senior. I grew up to meet Eze Igbo in Bauchi. I grew up to meet Eze Igbo in Kano. I grew up to meet Eze Igbo in Nasarawa. And I grew up to know Eze in Anambra, Ebonyi, Abia, Enugu. Eze is everywhere. I grew up to know that there is an Eze Igbo in diaspora, to the point that they have end-of-year parties every year annually. And I know they are usually their brother's keepers. When one dies, it's the Eze Igbo that calls for this meeting that enables people get their corpse back. It is through the Eze Igbo that people are able to gather money. The Eze Igbo is like a trusted icon. They gather these monies and they submit. He makes sure that the person who dies is brought back and given a very peaceful burial. It is the job of Eze Igbo to organize such. So guys, anything other than this is tantamount. It's not the truth. It is a lie. Somebody has given me stars. Who did? Chinaye Scholastica Daluneo. Thank you so much. Somebody just gave me a gift. Hey, I'm doing something. Sorry, honey. Sorry. Well, I'm doing something. So that's what it is, guys. I hope this sings. I hope when there's Eze Igbo in Ghana who is having issues right now with the people of Ghana, when he sees this, I hope it goes down well with him. I also hope that the kings of Ghana, they may see this video and will understand the real essence why the Igbos love to install the Eze Igbo everywhere that they go. It's not peculiar to just the people of Ghana. It's in Europe, it's in Asia. And we're Eze Igbo na China. We have Eze Igbo in China. We have Eze Igbo in Malaysia. It's like that. Please, it's not peculiar to just Ghana. We're only begging the Ezes that have been installed to be in peaceful coexistence between their installer and the government of the land. Kudo we chia kambimbi we biri na mbimbi ebiri. That's what it is. I rest, guys. My name is Eze Igbo, for the daughter of North-Fija people, the one whose flash of a tip brings out money from your pocket. You listen to me from Enugu, Nigeria. You call me Jelagamaza, go from Mammal of Mammy be a Danino, I don't know if it's a Gemon, I don't know before cheers, the Ego Guinea now, wish I don't measure at the Mamaka, but come age more chairs and not a gift. I can name on the vine soon at the Lunazima. Onya war, ono, afuozo, aguapatia. The Lord has blessed people. Ama mo menana, ama mo denana, maruchu, mari hedwana nime. So if you love the truth, then you must listen to the truth. If you do not want to listen to the truth, then Oyo is your case. Have a beautiful Sunday afternoon, guys. It's still morning, but I wish you a lovely, lovely Sunday afternoon. Thanks to all those who are on TikTok. Thanks to all those who tapped the screen for me. I salute you. I say thank you so much. And maybe I'll need to continue my conversation on TikTok because I'll need to bring people up so that they can at least communicate. Those who are giving me flowers, I really appreciate you. Those who are sharing gifts to me on TikTok, I really appreciate you. So thank you, Scholastica, for giving me stars on my Facebook. A lot of people have forgotten that they give me stars on my Facebook, but no problem. So give me stars, give me flowers, give me guns, give me lion. Is all deserving. So my name is Eze Igbo. I appreciate you. So I'm going off this app now. I'm going off this Facebook and YouTube and Facebook handle and Facebook page. I'm going off from you. I'm heading back to TikTok so that I can have conversations, direct conversations about this matter. I need to hear their views. Have a peaceful Sunday, guys, and peace out. So I'm back now.